If you're chasing work, putting yourself out there and getting noticed as an actor, at some point you're going to find yourself invited to auditions. That's the whole point, right? So how do you succeed on this rung of the ladder? How do you maximise your chances of actually nabbing the role? These are the audition secrets that actually work. Hello, welcome to Organic Acting. I'm going to get straight to the point here and probably tell you something that's not only obvious, but that you're tired of hearing. 90% of the work that goes into an audition is preparation. You have to be prepared. Learning the lines and blocking your audition piece, preparing an accent, even working out and planning your journey to and from the audition venue. There is nothing worse than turning up to your audition slot shaky, unprepared, hoping that no one notices you've turned up like a blob of sweaty chocolate pudding. Cover your back and prepare. Put the time in the moment you receive an audition invite. Of course, that's just the beginning of the story. They may ask you to perform another piece. Do you have one prepared and ready to go? They may ask you to go through the primary audition piece again, only this time with them directing. Can you listen and adapt your performance accordingly? What if they want something more informal, like a chat? Have a think about what could happen in that eventuality. Can you talk about what you've been up to recently? What projects you've been involved in? What work you've enjoyed?
Could you elaborate on that?
Well, sir, for the past 7 years, I've been producing original video content for YouTube.
What can you ask the casting director? Can you ask them about their own work? Perhaps question them about the piece you're auditioning for that day? What their vision is? What thoughts they have on the scene and character? These moments can be extremely revealing, not just for you, but for the person interviewing you. They can help a casting director see who you are as a person and if you're the sort of individual they'd like to work with. Don't throw away this opportunity. Use it to show how approachable you are, how comfortable you are in yourself, and more importantly, that you're a human being, not just a single-minded acting machine without a soul or conscience. Now, a big part of the audition process is the waiting room, the place where all the actors auditioning are herded into one space and asked to wait before being called. Warning: this moment in the journey can be absolute poison. In this space, your confidence can be hit with stress and tension from the others in the space, chit-chat and gossip. Perhaps two of the actors there know each other. Perhaps someone they know have worked for the company before and have heard bad things. Perhaps one of them has a killer idea and has prepared something extra special, something you didn't even think about. The whole scenario can, at best, distract you, and at worst, completely sap your confidence. Buffer yourself against this part of the audition process. I can't stress that enough. Be polite. Be civil, don't be a dick, just block all of this chatter out. Focus on what you're about to do while staying confident. If someone tries to talk to you, say hello, be cordial, be a fine human being, not that actor cyborg, remember, but then leave it at that and turn your attention back on yourself. USP. We hear this term a lot in business, but it is extremely important in acting and auditions. What is your unique selling point? What can you offer that no one else can? You are an individual with distinctive talents and gifts, and you will, without doubt, approach text and character in a completely different way to the next actor. And here's an important point and a secret to auditions. Imagine a casting director sat in the same space all day, perhaps even over the best part of a week, hearing the same scene read out. The same lines said in the same inflection, time after time after time. How mind-numbingly boring would that be? When you step into that audition space, how can you give that poor casting director something different? Nothing showy or over the top, still sticking to the given circumstances of the piece, but something that is going to be refreshing and break the fatigue coma in the room. I once had an audition for a commercial set at a wrestling match. I was auditioning for the part of a fan in the crowd, cheering as their favourite fighter entered the auditorium. While everyone else was screaming, shouting, waving their hands, I did the opposite. I stood there, energised but calmly anticipating, nodding to my favourite fighter, showing my respects, acknowledging his ability, confident in the fact that he was going to get the job done. I stood out of that audition, and because of that, they asked me to come back for the second round of auditions. I want to talk about self-confidence, self-belief. Now, I don't want to come across as some new age guru, but there is a hell of a lot to be said about believing in yourself and the effect that belief can have on the other people you meet. Confidence can be infectious. Now, I'm not talking about being cocky or having an ego the size of Mount Everest, but if you can fill yourself with confidence, all the way from your audition prep right through to the end of the audition itself, if you can say, I'm right for this part and I can bring something to it no one else can, if you can believe in the piece and that it fits you, if you can enter that audition space and claim it as your own, if only for a few minutes, you can inject a boost of energy into your audition that will bolster your chances of succeeding. Again, let me be clear, no one likes a smartass. No one, including casting directors, like an actor that turns up on the day and says, "Yeah, played this part last year, dead easy, could do it standing on my head, you'd be stupid not to hire me." Don't be that person. But if you can enter the room positive, confident, anticipating the good and showing the best side of yourself, well, like I say, confidence can be infectious. Casting. Some of us get the jobs, others don't. You can be perfect for a role and handle the audition perfectly. Yet after all that, the phone doesn't ring and you never hear from the company again. How in the hell can that happen? Not only is it defeating, in some ways it just feels unfair, doesn't it? Feeling you've done so well, put in so much work, gone in there with your head held high, and then never hearing anything back. The secret? Casting is out of your hands. The decision process of who gets the parts, of who won and who lost, is something you can never ever fathom as an actor. Some companies and casting directors have no imagination whatsoever and are locked into the type of actor they've imagined for the role. You may have lost out on a part because your hair wasn't as curly as the actor who came in 10 minutes before you. Seriously, it can be something as specific as that. Your audition might have been perfect, but for some undisclosed reason, insignificant to the world at large, yet meaningful to the casting director, you lost out. So don't bother beating yourself up trying to find some explanation as to why you're still unemployed. I used to sit on trains to and from auditions, punishing myself, wondering what was bad about my technique, why no one would hire me, what was wrong with me. Don't do that. It'll kill you, and what's worse, suck all the fun out of the craft. When you get feedback, great, you've got something to work on. Most of the time you don't hear anything. All you can do is tell yourself you did your best. Hopefully you did, and if not, constructive self-critique can be helpful. And that perhaps that role just wasn't for you, and the next audition and job is right around the corner. If you don't make this change, a little seed of resentment will start to turn, and it starts to plant itself, and pretty soon it's a plant and a tree and a forest of resentment and anger, and you will self-implode. If you like this video, perhaps these other videos on my channel might be of use to you. Also, if I could ask you to click on the like and subscribe buttons, or even the super thanks button, it really would help me out. See you next time.